you joined our sisterhood earlier in the year.
Yes.
And I'm very keen to hear from you just about your journey and how it's been. Like, what were you going through? What were your biggest struggles when you first came to me?
Probably anxiety and depression, like the labels of that, and feeling like I wasn't fitting in and that I was just always not good enough. And got to some really dark times before that. And I just was like, this isn't, I guess I've got a 5-year-old daughter as well. So I started hearing myself through her, and that was like the biggest slap in the face of, oh my gosh, I have to change me so that she can learn to be more resourceful in herself and happier in herself and things. Because hearing it, she was only 4 at the time, and I just thought, oh my gosh, like, she's 4, she shouldn't be anxious, she shouldn't be worrying about pleasing others and things like that. And I just thought, oh, this I can't let this happen. And that's where I thought I need to make a change. And over the years I've tried talk therapies and all that kind of thing, and medications and all that, and just nothing clicked. Like, you can talk about what's happened over and over and over and over, but it doesn't give you the resources to move forward from it. You just keep going through it. And I found you through Facebook, and through a friend referred me, and I thought, oh, well, yeah, right, I'll just give this one a call, like, another one, let's just see how it goes. And after the first phone call, I was like, oh, wow, I think this woman can really, really make a difference. Like, doesn't want to know what happened to me. How can she help me if she doesn't want to know what happened? Like, yeah, all right, I'm intrigued. Give me a little taste of this and see how it goes. And yeah, it's just been one step at a time, but it's been amazing because it's not reliving the past, it's giving yourself new tools to use to move forward and making life better. So yeah, it's an amazing journey, and I'm really, really glad that Facebook stalks me and figures out what I want to see and has led me to you.
Oh, thank you. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. It has been a journey. And I mean, we're not talking years of therapy. We're talking a few months. Like, how long has it been?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I think I started in February and we're now at the end of July. So, and I noticed a massive change within the first 5 weeks, because I started the course and thought, oh God, like, some of this was a bit hard at the start, like get a bit like in your face, confronting to go, whoa, with the goals and things, stuff like that, having to think about what goals I had. But I was like, just work through it. And then I came to a half-day retreat, and I was like, wow, like, I've already come so far. I think that was my real eye-opener, to see how far I had moved from when I began. And I was like, after that, I was like, I've got this. You go, girl, I've got this. So I think really seeing the tools and resources that I was being given in play. And I also had a significant family event that triggered me, I guess, and I knew it was going to. So I reached out for some tools and resources and used them, and I was like, whoa, like, it just worked. And so seeing that play out in real life, I guess, really was like, okay, like, this is really life-changing. It's not just gobbledygook that I'm going to get going to listen to for a few months and then walk away and be like, oh, well, I don't remember a thing from that or anything. It's honestly life changing, and it's so minimal life changing that you don't notice, I guess, in every day. It's not until you catch yourself doing something where you would have normally been triggered or flying off the rails or something like that, that I go, yeah, cool, that didn't happen. But that's literally it. I just, cool, that didn't happen, and I move on.
Subtle, very subtle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so subtle that it's like, you say life changing, and I guess that can kind of be a little bit daunting too. Like, people can be a little bit like, life changing, like that's a huge thing, but it really isn't. It's so subtle but so effective. And I can't imagine my life continuing the way it had been. And like, I almost forget how I felt. I do. I just sit and I think, like, how was I always feeling like that and thinking that was just okay? Because now I don't feel anything like that, and I'm just like, whoa, life's good. Life is, it's good. So yeah.
Amazing. Can you attempt to try and put your finger on some of the subtleties, some of the changes? How is life good exactly? What's different now?
Positive. And life is positive. I'm more positive in the way I look at things, and I don't justify. I just say. If I say I'm cold, that's it. I don't say I'm cold because the door's open and the wind's blowing on me and I'm feeling a little bit cold. Sorry, you're not feeling cold, but I'm feeling cold. I'm cold, or anything. I don't justify why I'm feeling the way I am. It's just, that's how I'm feeling, and that's it. And I'm standing up for my boundaries. So without it being a battle either, like, I'll have my boundary and someone might question it, and I'll just be like, yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. That's where I stand on it. And then they might question it a bit more. I'll go, yeah, but that's just where I stand. So that's it.
Yeah, wow.
That's it.
Yeah, wow.
Whereas
that's back.
Yeah, back I would have really fallen to like let my boundaries down to please that other person, to avoid the conflict. But there is no conflict by standing up for my boundary, because I just go, that's it, my boundary and my boundary, and
stop.
Yeah, that's it. So the justification in that has disappeared, and it's just so much, I don't know, life's just easy. Life just flows now.
Amazing. Amazing. And so what's been one of the profound things for you? Biggest aha moment?
I guess right back at the start, I think I was only in it'd only been 5 or 6 weeks or so. Not even been that long. I had an event that I knew was going to trigger me, and I used my tools the beginning tools, and made it through that moment. And I was like, yep, this works. Like, this can work. And I wasn't anxious. I wasn't scared. I just did what I followed my resources. And it's not like a script or anything that I have to remember. It's just little bits that I remind myself. And I just got through it. And I was like, no, you know what? Everything that life throws at me now, I can handle, because that moment would have absolutely shattered me. But it didn't. And I was using such simple little tools. I just was like, okay, move on. And I was like, yeah, no, that was my aha moment, that this was going to work. So
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. And so let's talk to the women on the other side of this that are at the start of this journey and struggling and whatever, like what would you say to them, you know, to help them? What message do you have for them?
I guess it's really hard, because to say trust and believe is a difficult task for us, but it really is as simple as just trust and believe it will work. But it's like 3 words, trust and believe, but I don't know.
Just trust the process.
But when you've had trust broken and things like that, it's very hard to do that. I understand that, but I guess you've got to believe that life can be better.
Yeah.
You've got to believe that you can make your life better, and it's you. It's inside you that you do this. And that no matter what anybody else is doing, acting, saying around you, you have control over you and how you feel. And I guess believing that you can take your control back is a huge thing. Like, it doesn't matter what's happening around you. Like, the world could be going into complete chaos around you. Like, your family could be having the biggest conflict, but inside you can stay cool, calm and collected and use your resources, and it's absolutely fine. Like, you won't go down to their level, but you will still achieve an outcome. And you you've just got to trust and believe that you can have control over you.
I couldn't have said it better. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's like, I know the trust is a hard thing, because it's something, I guess, that is broken and things, but if you're making the step if you're consciously thinking that you want help and that you want to be better, then please just trust this quick process. And it's quick. It's a quick few steps, because life is amazing on the other side.
Yeah, that's the key. And I think it is the biggest hurdle for women like us, that trust is our biggest issue, because we had that trust breached at such a young age.
Yeah.
And so coming back home, learning to trust ourselves that we can do this.
Yeah.
And to trust us, to trust the sisterhood that we've got them as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because essentially, like, you are the change yourself. So I've noticed that by me learning the tools and using them and everything like that, that now circumstances in my life have changed, and times where there would have been conflict or arguments or triggered moments, they don't happen because I'm changed. So it's not about fixing everybody else around you. You can't fix anybody else. You make the change in yourself, which then changes everything around you. So I guess it's letting go of that mindset of you have to fix everybody else to make you better as well. It's really just you. That's what you have to think about. It's okay to just think about you in this moment.
Yes, amazing. Yeah, be the change.
Yeah, and I think possibly as women, we have that feeling that we need to help everybody else and everything like that before ourselves, but we're so important ourselves, and we need to change that mindset of look after number one, because that then will make everything else around. It's a cascade effect. It just will happen. So
well, it is also sadly one of our trauma responses is the people pleasing, and the keeping busy and deflecting everything outside of us, and not putting ourselves first. So then how is this stuff different to what else is out there?
Like I said, you don't want to know anything about what happened in the past. And so to me, I'm like, how can you fix me? Or how can you help me fix me if you don't know what happened to me? But you don't need to know, because it happened. You can't change it. You can't do anything about that. You can only change how we go from here now. And so I guess understanding and letting go that the whole thing of tomorrow's a new day really is so true, because it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It doesn't mean it wasn't important, and it doesn't mean it didn't hurt and things like that. But you don't have to continue that pain. Tomorrow's a new day. The next step's a new step, and you take control of which direction it goes in. Do you want to keep going down that path, or do you want to move forward into the rainbows, butterflies and fairies?
We did that in a group call one day, I think, right?
Yeah. Because as much as that seems unrealistic, it so doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Because you can wake up in the morning and you can go, the sun's out today and it's bright, shining bright in my eyes, and or you can go, oh my God, look at the sunshine. I'm going to get outside and feel that warm sun on my body. Like total different mindsets, which will obviously change the way your whole day is going to go. So I just
thank you. Is there a favorite tool or module of yours, or just everything?
All of it, definitely. I think the one that I think of and all that sits there a lot is the above the line, below the line thinking. Because you can kind of you can acknowledge where somebody is on the line, and then obviously then you use your other resources to how you're going to respond as well, because obviously you are the change in that aspect. So you have the choice of joining them below the line and continuing along there, or staying above the line, and you in the process you may bring that other person above the line with you, or if they stay below the line, then you still feel, I guess, humble in yourself that you've stayed above the line and you haven't dropped yourself and gone back into old patterns and old ways and things like that. So that's something I guess I look at, and I reflect a lot at night time of my day and the people that I've come across and where they were sitting and things like that. And I reflect on, I guess, where I've made differences in my day because I've stayed above the line. So that's something that's really
amazing. Which is one of the other processes we embed into us every week. We do our calls and we do keep, delete, tweak, so it becomes habitual happening in the brain, where you just you sit there and reflect, and that just happens naturally. And now
I think taking the time, like literally it's like I just lay in bed and it's like 2 minutes of just reflecting on my day, and that's all it is. It's like 2 minutes before I fall asleep. It's not like I have to sit and I have to journal for half an hour or anything like that. Like it's 2 minutes of my night that I just sit and I just think back through my day, and is there something that I could have tweaked or deleted, and I don't get pent up over it, even if there is a moment, even if it was my action or my reaction to something that I'll think, oh, I could have done that this way. I'm like, oh, could have done that this way. I'll do that next time. Like, I don't dwell on the past and then create scenarios and everything, which then is a snowball effect from itself. I just acknowledge it and go, okay, cool, and it's done. Like, it's like the tick on the list, like, okay, cool.
Because there's never failure, only feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's
why you are able to do it like that now.
Yeah.
Other women watching this are probably going, how do you do that? That's just like, I can't even comprehend, right?
Absolutely. And I hear you, but I promise you, it just follow the process. And it is such a quick process. And as I said, like, it was only, I think it was like week 4 when I had that family thing. Yeah. And then I've gone to week 5, I've gone to the half-day retreat, and I just think, like, 4 weeks and you totally didn't have this major triggered meltdown after 4 weeks. Like, that's
what?
Like, I'm sorry, I've lived a lot longer in trigger, anxiety, crazy trauma. So yeah, I could give a month. Like, I could give a month to see a massive change like that. Like, so yeah.
And we really have to applaud you as well, Kelly, because you showed up and you did do the work. Every week you did the tools, you did the processes, you learnt the stuff, and this is what we see, the women that show up, you know.
And it just becomes like natural for me, like coming to the calls every week. When I first heard that there was like the video calls every week, I'm like, no way, not happening. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy. I can't do that. Then I got I'm a people pleaser, I have to do this, like, she's doing it. So I came, and then I was like, this isn't about her, this is about me. I'm loving this. And it's just, the sisterhood really becomes that, like a sisterhood. Like, these women, I've never met these women, and I have, like, enjoyed an hour and a half every Wednesday with these women, laughed, cried, chatted, like, with these women, and I've never met them. And it was amazing. It's like, we
don't know any of each other's stories.
No, I could not tell you a thing about any of the other women except positive changes that are happening in their life that we share with each other if you want to. Like, some women are, that I'll probably know a little bit more about than others in what they're doing, and that's okay too. Like, and just, you can see in the videos every week how much everyone's changing. You see how comfortable and happy and calm are, like, the shoulders are dropped, the smile's real. It's not just there because you're it's real. It's and I think that's the other thing is, when you, like, as daunting as it was for me, like, huge hands up, that was something I was like, do I have to do that part? I just fix in emails, like, that's fine. Like, doing it the first week, I was like, and then I was like, next week, I'm like, what, is it Wednesday yet? Like, can I, like, as this call, like, come on, girls, like, what's happening? So it will take you maybe a smidgen out of your comfort zone, but that's okay. Trust it. Trust and believe. Because like, you've made, like, if you've made the call to reach out, that's the biggest step. That is the biggest step, is if you've made that step to reach out to Megita, then that's like, hallelujah, sister, you're over the line. Like you've done it. The rest is smooth sailing from there. So that was, the calls scared me, but now I'm like, every Wednesday it's like, okay, it's cool, it's Wednesday, my girls are coming, I'm here to chat with my girls. And then obviously the Facebook group as well, like being able to share things, and if you're just having a moment, it's okay, because you can just share with the girls, or if somebody else shares something, and you can use the tools that you already learned to say, well, maybe you could try this. That then also feels amazing, because you're building another sister up, and that's what we should all be doing. So
amazing. Thank you. Any final words before we wrap up?
Just do it. Just do it. Believe. It's amazing. And it is 3 months. Well, not even that. It's literally a month, because it's not like you've got to get to 3 months and then all of a sudden Megita waves a magic wand and bing, you're okay now. It's literally the first few weeks that you start to implement the resources into your life. And at first I thought, this is weird. Like, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to remember another thing to have to do in life? You don't even. It's so subtle, and it's just unconsciously you just start to do these things more and more and more and more. And
I just got full body goosebumps then.
Before you know it, like, I can't pinpoint, other than that family triggered moment, I can't pinpoint an exact moment where I was like, this is working, because it just starts to happen. And
it starts to weave into normal everyday life. Yeah,
so it's like you say life changing, but I haven't changed anything except small unconscious things that I just do now. And so I guess that's the other element, is to think that it's not hard work. It's not hard work at all. It just starts to happen. You just follow the processes and it just starts to happen. So you don't have to set aside 3 hours a week to memorize this thing, and there's no quizzes, and there's no there's no judgment of you haven't got it yet. Seriously, have you not got it yet? No, it just happens, and it just falls into place. So and quickly, so quickly, like within a month you are noticing it in your life. So,
when you show up, I have to give that as the key, right? When you show up, when you do the stuff, it goes both ways, right?
There's just a few stepping stones that you go across, and then the processes just start to flow. So you just got to follow the stepping stones, and it's only a small creek to get across. Right?
I often do say to the ladies that are considering coming in, they ask about time commitment and things like that, and I say, if all you do is just show up to the calls and only do the calls each week, that will have a huge effect in and of itself.
Absolutely. Like, I'll read the modules, like I'll put aside some time, like even like 10-15 minutes just to have a read through the module. But just reading through it starts to put it into your mind. And so, and then I'm a mum and I work, so life's busy just in that. So sometimes that's all I'll do. And then you come back to it when you've got a moment, and when it's right for you, you come back to it, and then you work through the module, and it just works. So
thank you, because I kind of designed it to do that as you said, as you read through it, it just starts to go into your mind. And
Yeah.
I think to kind of let you peek behind the curtain with that, it's a lot of that is the NLP and hypnotic language that I've been trained in.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
That I can put into the videos, into the activities, and the way that it's written, like, goes into your brain. And
yeah, and I think that's the way I've found it the easiest is I read the module and then I go away. I don't try and attempt the activity right there and then. I let it sit for a little bit. Because, and when I say activities and modules and stuff, it's not like uni, it's not like TAFE where it's like structured things where you have to write 1,500 words on how you're feeling or anything like that. It's just there's no right or wrong answers in it. It just is easy.
Yeah. And you can dip in and out. The modules are kind of standalone, right? You can dip in and out of them when you need them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got them for life now. Like there's going to be hard moments in life, no matter what. There's going to be death in the family. There's going to be hard times at work. There's going to be difficult moments in life. So it's okay to quickly flick back to the modules and be like, oh, that's right, like just do this, because there's going to come times where you feel more heightened emotions and things, and so it's just a matter of reminding yourself how to work through that and not be triggered by it. And they're there forever. You've got them. You can go back. You could do the 3 months and then go back and do it again, or might look at it in, I don't know, a year's time, 5 years time, and be like, hey, yeah, that's right. And you notice when you go back and have a look at the modules, that's when you really realize how much you're doing it your everyday. Like, well, for me it was like, that's how subtle the change is in your life. I don't even realize I'm doing it, and it's only like when friends of mine who, like really close friends who know I'm doing the course, they'll be like, oh, did you learn that in your course? I'm like, no. And I think about it, I'm like, yeah, actually I did. Like, and it's
always been like that.
Yeah, that's it. That's how subtle it is, that you don't even notice. Like, you don't always notice the change. It's not like you have. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Yeah, I know because I see it. I'm on the other end of it. I see the change. Look, there is this phenomena known as NLP or coaching amnesia, because the coach and the therapist has created the change, and it is so profound, but the person forgets because this is their new normal now. They didn't even realize that was there before, especially when we're working with belief structures and belief changes. You change a belief, that old belief's not there anymore, so they don't even remember they had it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that can happen too.
Yeah, like I don't remember January, how I felt in January.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's amazing. Like, I just know I feel good now.
Yeah, which is also why we do the healing goals, and we start with the goals so we can go back and go, these are the changes that have happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, because you had such a big, profound event as well with the family event and the trigger around that was a very marked thing for you. Also, coming to the retreat and meeting other women that were right at the start, whereas you were, a few weeks in, you could really see the difference. Oh, I was like that before, and now only a few weeks later, I'm like in such a different place,
Like, and in the retreat, you gave me the week 2 module, and I was just like, oh my God, this again. Me through this again. And I sat there with my piece of paper and I started to read through it again, and I went, I don't do any of this anymore. And literally, so it had been like 3 weeks since I'd done that module to when I went to the retreat, and gone. Like, so
amazing.
Yeah, it's when you go back and have a look at those modules, you think, wow, like that's that's just the way life is now, and it's so amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you, my dear. I will wrap up now.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of that.
Okay.
Yay.